Today I'm joined with a panel of my colleagues from the various Ray White Group businesses.
Hi, my name's Jeff Moxham. I'm the principal of Ray White Commercial Metropolitan Sydney.
Hi, I'm Stephen Padukas, Executive Director at White & Partners. We provide capital and boutiques advisory services for real estate investors and developers.
Hi, I'm Peter Wilshire, partner from Ray White Valuations, head up the residential and mixed-use development division.
Hi, I'm Eddie Mansour. I'm a partner at Ray White Projects.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Rader. I'm the Head of Research for Ray White Commercial. I suppose the investor market is really dried up a little bit, and you're talking about the owner-occupier market still being quite strong. So how does that really work for pre-sales? Because a lot of the times in financing, pre-sales are required, and that obviously factors into valuation as well. So how does that work?
Yeah, Vanessa, that's a really good question. As we know, the banks have got quite a limited appetite band at the moment, and at the moment they still require quite a high level of pre-sales. But there's a number of emerging lenders that don't require that level of pre-sales. Some of them actually requiring nil pre-sales to get the project going, particularly sort of some boutique projects that Eddie's involved in. So there is funding options out there. Peter, from a valuation perspective, what are you seeing in that regard?
I agree, Steve, certainly seeing quite a lot of clients going who are sort of been historically bank clients who are looking at the option of going to some of the non-bank lenders to get some of their projects started. They might pay a bit more up front, but they obviously can move forward a bit quicker in delivery of the project. At the moment, it's certainly seeing pre-sales happening in good projects, well located by good, reputable builder and developers. Seeing a few seniors living projects, interestingly, that have been working on lately, just seen off the plan sales, which have historically been a pretty tough market to get off the plan sales in. I think opportunities for developers for the owner-occupier product at the moment.
I'd really agree with that, Pete, in regards to the appetite for the owner-occupier space. We're really seeing that at the moment in a large site that we're marketing in the Inner West, in Ashbury. I'm also seeing the gap between sort of A grade and B grade sites is sort of really widening, which is common in this sort of market. It's, as I mentioned before, people are wanting those areas that are a little bit more secure.
That's really interesting, Jeff. I suppose when it comes to these sort of market conditions, you know, location, as they say, and being right there in those infill suburbs is where the attraction is for the owner-occupier market. Eddie, you also have some dealings with our Hong Kong office, and so operating in this kind of pre-sale market and also some of these projects that are under construction, what's going on out of Hong Kong at the moment?
Hong Kong's had a great 12 months. They're probably one of the best 12 months for the business in general. Our Hong Kong office specialises in Australia stock, but predominantly Sydney and Melbourne. We have really seen some great activity out of that office. It's a dedicated selling office for new properties in Hong Kong, so that's the exciting part and something that was part of James Lee and our family company that's been involved in it. So we are seeing that buyers are either wanting to come home or wanting to increase their interest in investing in Australia. A lot of the properties they have been purchasing, typically investment was the first thought of mine. Now it's, can I live in it? Would I consider living in this in the future? And so really it's coming back to that owner-occupier conversation that we keep discussing. What's been very interesting for me is having a group of specialists within our business has been exciting, because being able to sort of relate back and ask Peter, for example, what are you seeing with valuation numbers? Speaking to Stephen about finance options and Jeff about what site costs, and of course yourself, Vanessa, around transactional and research information. We're being able to feed that out to the different sectors and report on that, and it gives buyers confidence, because I think buyers just don't want to believe that they're acting on their own instincts. They want to know factual information and get a real sense of what's going on.
Eddie, can I ask you a question? Re 1788 down in Double Bay, It's probably one of the most prestigious projects on the market at the moment and has been for some time. Have you seen an uptake in overseas interest in the last sort of 3 to 4 months or even 6 months since the issues going in Hong Kong?
We've seen some interest in it. We haven't had it transactionally. It's quite amazing because at the forefront of my mind, everyone, no matter whether when we were travelling overseas, you'd mention Double Bay, and everyone knows where Double Bay is in Sydney. It's had interest, but they haven't transacted on it. Whereas they've been more focused on Lower North Shore, school connectivity, the eastern suburbs. they've sort of probably taken more sort of a focus in towards Rose Bay and those sort of areas there. There's interest there. We've probably in 1788 we've had more interest out of Singapore and London, but that's predominantly been expats or people thinking about coming home either now or in a not too distant future.
What's your percentage of sales down there now?
We have got 8 apartments remaining out of the 27. We'll be doing a final markup. We've got currently 2 offers on them, so it may come down to 6. But what's been really that comes to the forefront of that project for us is that we've got predominantly owner-occupiers that have wanted to either amalgamate units or put special touches to units to make it a home as such. And I think we touched on boutique apartments and pre-sale requirements before, and I think that's one of the things that these boutique projects sometimes don't need pre-sales because they're either building them to a completion, or if people are buying, they're tending to, on the more boutique, they're wanting to put a bit of a touch or their own little special purpose to it.
Okay, thanks for joining us to understand more about the Sydney residential development market. We hope to see you again soon on one of our next Market Insights.